The old thinking used to be, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Well, I think leaders today have also learned that if you want to go well, to go humbly, bring other people to your ideas, share in your growth, act with vulnerability so they understand how you come along this path as well. By prototyping in public and sharing in our personal evolution, that's how we're able to go far, go fast, and go well by moving together. Tone policing refers to how we monitor and mandate how people speak. And when we do that, when we pay more attention to how they speak and how they communicate visually as well as verbally, we pay more attention to how they communicate than what they're actually saying. We end up ignoring the message and maybe even losing the message. And when we do that, we lose a lot of the great contributions around us. When we monitor and closely mandate how women are speaking, when maybe we encourage them to adopt more traditional kind of aggressive postures of leadership, traditionally more male postures of leadership, it may negate their natural communication styles. And when we focus more on how we're communicating than what we're saying, visually and verbally, that's where we start to lose some of that value. But when we allow the people around us to thrive, when we encourage their natural communication styles, when we help them thrive and build messages and encourage their personal leadership, that's what we mean by bringing more diverse voices to the table. On an individual and personal level, vulnerability is risky, but it's risk that comes with great reward. Vulnerability is the risk that we take on for connection, for helping people to rally around our ideas. That doesn't happen unless we're willing to share those ideas that may not yet be fully formed. I think it's important, though, that we don't mistake vulnerability for weakness. Vulnerability really is a strength of saying, this is who I am, this is how I am. And as a leader, when you share that openly, especially in a time when we're all bearing a lot of additional stress, you're basically helping to sanction the behavior and the growth of others, of saying, this is how I'm growing, and it's okay for you to grow in that way too. We throw around the term empathy a lot. It's become kind of a buzzword in many industries. And I guess I want to counter that and say, is it arrogant to assume that we can understand everyone else's experience? And furthermore, is it arrogant, and maybe is it a little unnecessary to say, I have to perfectly understand what you're going through so that I can relate to it? Maybe it's enough, or maybe on the path to empathy, it's enough just to have compassion and respect, to say that I respect your journey as a fellow traveler, as a fellow human being, as another contributor in our organization. I don't have to perfectly understand what you've been through, but I can respect that you've gained life lessons, and those life lessons strengthen your work, strengthen our team and our organization. Ideally, all workplaces are safe spaces for learning, where people feel like they can learn and grow in their roles, maybe as managers, as mentors. But there's also the fact that you're testing with live subjects, so maybe that's not always the case. I think there's a real opportunity for people to grow in learning and development contexts, in training environments, because they do provide a safe space and that sort of lab-like experience to test out new strategies, and maybe more importantly, to practice them and gain comfort with them, so that when you do bring them back into kind of the real world of the workplace, it's with a sense of experience and familiarity that I tried this once. I tried different ways of approaching this topic, maybe of coaching people or of speaking about this topic. Now I know what works for me. When we build on that kind of consistency and familiarity, that's what fosters comfort.